Hi everyone, and welcome to our HP Indigo live commercial webcast. My name is Maya Poleg. I'm the HP Indigo Worldwide Products and Solutions Manager. Today we're hosting the third webcast in our series for you, our commercial print community, powered by DScoop. You're all invited to take an active part today by asking your questions and posting your comments on the chat. Our experts will be available to answer your questions live. In the last broadcast, we focused on learning about the wide range of applications our commercial print customers produce. And in today's broadcast, we'll talk more in depth about the various tools that help our customers drive productivity and automation. We'll also take a deep dive and a look behind the scenes at the new HP Indigo 100K. So with that, let's get started. With me here today are Gershon Alon and Arnon Cohen. Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name is Gershon Alon. I'm the head of Print OS in HP Indigo.
Hello, my name is Arnon, and I manage the commercial product marketing team here in HP Indigo as well.
Great. So I'd like to start first by asking you a question, Gershon. When we, as an equipment supplier, talk about productivity, we really tend to focus on the press. Maybe we can start by taking a step back and getting kind of a wider view of this topic of productivity.
Sure, Maya. So what really matters to customers is the productivity end-to-end, starting from the job submission all the way to finishing and shipping. In this context, printing is just one step, and our strategy is to integrate seamlessly into the existing environment. So we are partnering with the leading industry vendors in order to connect with their products and optimize their, exactly. Now we can see also the slide. Now, beyond the partners integration, we offer more than 20 Print OS applications that help customers to optimize almost every step of the production. Print OS applications cover areas like variable data, like pre-press, like color management, substrate management, press monitoring, and many, many more.
That's very interesting. And what about productivity at the press level? You'd think it's mostly about the press speed, isn't it?
So in the end, what really matters is how many sellable sheets the press prints. And this depends not only on the press performance, but on many other aspects and factors like job availability, substrate quality, supplies handling, and more. Today, I want to highlight a very effective way to measure all that. It's called OEE, Overall Equipment Effectiveness. Let's hear Anat, the OEE product manager, explaining more about it.
Great, let's take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Anat. I'm the OEE product manager. OEE stands for Overall Equipment Effectiveness. With the OEE, you can see exactly how much time out of your planned production time the press was actually productive and how much time was wasted on activities that are considered as OEE loss. With PrintBit OE, we provide the out-of-the-box mode. There is a lot of information that we pull fully automatically from the press, such as the time that is spent when the press is available to print only because there are no jobs in queue, or the time that is spent on jam or PIP replacement or failure recovery time. With PrintBit OE, we present the data as a combination of press automatic input and user input, so you will be able to get the most out of your equipment. Customers that are using the OE confirm that they were able to increase their press throughput by up to 20% within weeks, and in most of the cases with minimal efforts. Some customers shared with me that they were able to increase the press utilization from 40% of OE to 60% OE simply because they just told the operators that now they are going to start measuring the effectiveness of their press or their shift or the effectiveness of the operator.
Thank you, Anat. Very, very interesting tool. And tell me, Gershon, is this actually used in practice by our customers?
Sure, yes. We have a few hundred presses that constantly measure OEE, and OEE helps them to focus on the most important productivity factors. And often OEE reveals opportunities that otherwise would not be identified. For example, one customer, the OEE report showed that the press was waiting for substrates for total time of 13 hours per week. The solution was simply to store the most common substrates closer to the press.
Wow,
so
that
it
sounds super simple, right? It sounds obvious.
Yet the problem was identified only by the OEE report, and solving it added more than 10% uptime.
So sometimes there's even really simple and quick fixes that this tool can identify.
Absolutely.
That's great to know. I think interesting to hear actually a perspective from one of our customers who's using this tool, and that's Garrett Garlick from Deluxe in the US. So let's take a look at what Garrett has to say.
We've been using OE at Deluxe for a few months now, and we feel it has added a new dimension to our production tracking by helping us to zero in on some key factors of accumulating downtime. We feel that OEE helps us to identify gaps in production that a regular impression counter just won't identify. It also gives us the ability to track performance on a per operator basis. And it helps us standardize some of our processes along the way, which has been key for us. And we would recommend OEE to anybody that's looking to improve press performance and to reduce downtime. It has been key for us.
Thanks, Garrett. So I understand these tools and I think they're great, but the press speed itself is still, we see that as a crucial factor. What about that?
So we have always invested in press speed and productivity, which are not the same. We doubled the press productivity in 2004, we did it again in 2008, and again in 2012. And we just announced the Indigo 100K with 30% increase in print speed and up to 50% in productivity. But before we talk about that, I want to mention a quieter revolution we made in 2012. That is enhanced productivity mode that lets you print with only CMY, gaining 30% in print speed on top of lowering your costs.
So basically you have a 30% speed increase built into your press even today. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how that works for those who are unfamiliar with it.
Sure. One of the merits of the Indigo Electro ink is it's being translucent, which is like semi-transparent. We are using this attribute in order to stack CMY dots one on top of the other as needed in order to achieve shadows and blacks without using the K ink. The secret in building the right color profile is in building the right color profile, and that will maximize the color gamut. Now that we are using only 3 colors, press output increases by 30% because we're taking out one click. What most people don't get is that not only that enhanced productivity mode doesn't only increase the speed and lowering the cost, it actually increases the print quality with highlights and with
why? How does that work?
Like
why does it improve
shades.
the quality?
Because we're taking out the black and then you don't see, you think about a photo of let's say a highlight, a white skin tone. Mm-hmm. And if you have the black, you will see dots like a beard, okay?
Understood. Maybe you can show us a sample to
I
show
just
what you're
have
talking about.
one sample here. If Benny can give us a close-up. Look at this. This demonstrates the quality I was talking about.
Yeah.
Even,
smooth.
If we see, even with this camera, we can see the smoothness. And if Benny, give me a closer close-up. Look at this black text right now. There is no black in this photo.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing.
So this is actually a great fit also for photo applications, right? So how much are customers actually using EPM?
So some are using it more and some are less. You have to remember that not all jobs fit to EPM. For example, if you have very, very fine black text, that's a problem. It also depends on geography, on end customer needs. Mm-hmm. Basically, we know of customers using EPM for 20 to 80% of their work. And I know of businesses where owners still make EPM their default. And only if they have a very good reason, they will use otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason is that when you use EPM, you save money and you save time. And you have to remember, in many cases, time is the big factor because time is money.
So if customers are using EPM only for part of their work, who decides? Is the decision left to the operator or the pre-press staff, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so the truth is that many customers leave it to the operator to decide, and they in turn use their experience and trial and error.
Yeah.
Now, the most sophisticated customers use automatic tools like Focus Switch to analyze the jobs and recommend which job should be printed in EPM and which should be printed in CMYK.
So that's automatic.
That's automatic. Mm-hmm. And In fact, we will soon have an EPM check as part of the Production Pro DFE, so that customers will be able to automate their EPM decision without changing their workflow.
That's great, because I know that one of the big barriers to adopting more and using more EPM is the fact that it's hard to make that decision and not sure how to make that decision, so having this tool will really, really be excellent. Great. So, Arnon, I want to go back and talk about speed again, because you mentioned the engine speed before we started talking about EPM. Maybe you can elaborate a little more about that.
We mentioned it in our first broadcast. The Indigo 100K is the first release of our Series 5 platform, and it is targeted to high productivity customers. That is the reason we made a huge investment needed to increase the print speed. And it is indeed 30% faster than the engine speed of the Indigo 12,000. But beyond speed, we also made many enhancements in the press to improve overall utilization. So overall output per shift or week or month is improved even more. And I'm talking about, you can get to 100,000 B2 sheets per shift. That's a high volume.
Absolutely. And I think this is actually the right time to see a demo of the HP Indigo 100K. I'm sure people are waiting to see that. So for this piece here, I'm going to do some magic. I'm going to teleport you, Arnon, directly to our lab to give the demo on the press. So let's see how I do that, and let's take a look.
Beam me up, Maya. Welcome everyone, my name is Arnon and I'm very excited to present to you the HP Indigo 100K. This is the first release of our Series 5 platform, and this press is born to run. You can print with it tens of thousands of sheets every day. And right now we are using enhanced productivity mode in order to print 6,000 B2 sheets an hour. Let's see how does this sound. This is the sound of real printing. So the Indigo 100K can print 30% faster, but we believe you can produce up to 50% more pages every day and every month. This is enabled by a massive investment in reliability and productivity. And the bottom line is non-stop printing. What does it mean? It starts here in the feeder. We added 2 additional optional drawers that sums to 5 input sources. Because you can load while you're print, that means that the feeder never stops you from printing. As you have seen, we changed the input mechanism to an offset-like gripper-to-gripper mechanism. This ensures the reliable feeding of the media at high speed. The engine is an Indigo print engine, but we touched over 90% of the parts in order to support the high printing speed and at the same time maintain the offset-like quality you know from Indigo. We have taken color measurement out of the paper handling path, and now we are calibrating in parallel to the printing speed, ensuring continuous printing. Also, we have improved stacking mechanism that you can see over here to ensure reliable and quality stacking. And in addition, we are supporting non-stop stacking when we have an automatic pallet replacement where the press will eject the field stack pallet and will automatically load an empty one for continuous printing. So we discussed continuous feeding, continuous stacking, continuous color calibration, gripper-to-gripper technology. The bottom line is what you see over here, the Indigo 100K, the press that is born to run.
So, Arnon, you're back. There is obviously a huge investment in this program, Arnon. Maybe you could tell us a little more about what types of customers we believe will actually benefit from this platform.
Sure. Our Indigo users that have multiple Series 4 presses and need additional capacity, this should be a perfect fit for them. Like I said, this press is born to run. Moreover, we believe that this is a real game changer for offset-based shops that haven't massively adopted digital print yet. I think there is something quite unique here in terms of offset matching and features. Things like the offset-like process and print quality. Look and feel, which is just like offset. Well, it brings like and things like the gripper to gripper I mentioned, which is an offset-like technology. And we believe that customers will be able to harness these tools and make the first step into digital using a real offset digital
and
technology.
at the same time, there's a lot of digital aspects in the press as well, right? The 5-input source feeder, all of these smart algorithms and AI and the color management.
Variable data printing, etc.
So I think overall you're absolutely right, and I think the volume overall that can be produced here, and we believe that we can bring up to 6 million impressions per month.
If you think about offset, they talk about 3 or 4 even jobs per hour with the most advanced presses. Here you can do much more and get to the same volume because of the efficiency of digital.
Excellent. So I think actually one of the most important aspects of the development process that we had here was actually the big focus on reliability, stability and reliability, which we ensure will deliver the utilization, the productivity, everything that our customers are looking for. So let's hear a little bit more about that from Ronen Novak, the R&D program lead who actually led a lot of this work. Let's hear from Ronen.
Hi. So when we designed this HP Indigo 100K, we designed it for reliability from day first. We implemented robust design through the cycle of the design process. For example, we designed a new robust chassis, robust drawer. We implemented reliable parts such as new nip rollers, motors, and boards. So when we entered the design of the internal component of the subsystems, we thought about, again, reliability. So for example, we reduced the torque on many belts items, for example, in the cleaning station. We designed a new ink system with an RDU, round dispersion unit with less part and high pressure to make it more reliable and with less parts. We designed a new board and new electrical wiring to make it more robust and more service. And we used industrial drawers to make them work in the middle of the working window in order to make it more reliable.
Very, very exciting to see. And actually in the demo, Arnon, you mentioned also the new input technology. And a lot of the customers are asking us all the time specific details regarding that specific gripper-to-gripper mechanism. So I want to hear a little bit more about it and actually how it works from Yoni, our lead mechanical engineer. So let's take a look at what Yoni has to say about that.
Hello everybody, my name is Yoni. I manage a group that designs and develops sheet-fed paper handling systems, and today I would like to show you the gripper-to-gripper system and walk you through exactly how it works. Now, we have 5 steps to the process of how the gripper-to-gripper works. The first one is sheets are coming in from the feeder, and I have this little piece of paper. It's a torn piece of paper. I'm just going to help you to understand how it works. So we have a nip roller conveying system, and the paper is coming in here, and we actually have one set of sensors here that measure the skew, and as the sheet is moving, we measure the skew, just keep in mind it for later, and it goes into here. Now what happens here, there's another set of nip and another sensor which triggers a smart stopping profile. So the paper is coming in through here, and it's going to start stopping, and we have like this arch trajectory here that I'm going to show you in a minute, which stiffens the paper. And I just want to get into here, and so what we have here, we have a set of grippers with a marker, and the paper is going to hit the marker, and now it's straightened. These grippers are going to close, and then step 2 is completed. We have a piece of paper which is de-skewed completely, and is held firm by the gripper system, the pre-gripper system. Now, moving on to step 3, which is the side lay, and we're getting a lot of questions about how do we perform the side lay on the HP Indigo 10K digital press. So it's a digital side lay. What it means that there's no marker on the side. We have an HD camera here, and it captures the edge of the sheet and the gripper system, and we measure the distance between the edge of the sheet and the center of the drum. And then we compute how much do we need to move the sheet to the front or to the rear with the gripper system. So step 3 is completed. We're holding the sheet firmly. We know exactly where it is positioned. And now this gripping system is going to start rotating with the paper towards the impression drum. At this point, this whole thing is actually on a linear slide, and it can move to the front or to the rear, and it moves the paper to the correct position. So step 4 is completed. We're holding it firmly. We have moved it to the correct position, and step 5 is we transfer it to the impression drum with a gripper-to-gripper system.
So I just wanted to mention and to clarify that the single camera can adjust the paper to the front or to the rear. And also I wanted to clarify that this mechanism was a key to enabling the print speed, the 30% increase in print speed, and it also allows better handling of light media and better front-to-front registration, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a big advancement.
Part of the reliability and stability of the press. Excellent. So Arnon, maybe you can tell us, please, how we're standing towards releasing this press.
So the release itself is planned for June, but actually we have installed 5 beta presses at 5 different locations around the world in summer 19. So we already have a real track record. These presses past the peak season of our most demanding customers. We've added 3 more sites, and overall we'll have 8 beta sites for this press, very long beta testing. We are installing what we call like a mid-beta kit, which is based on the learning that we've made in that period. And based on that long testing, we believe that this press and this platform actually is going to arrive to the market with a very high reliability and maturity.
Yeah, it really is a very long and rigorous beta, and making sure that our customers accept everything. And actually, we just received a short clip from Bennett Graphics in the United States that are the latest installation, very recent, from the HP Indigo 100K. Let's hear what David Bennett has to say about it. Hi, David.
Good morning from Atlanta. I'm David Bennett. I want to welcome you to Bennett Graphics. We've got some exciting news to share with you this morning. Joining our Indigo WS6800 and our Indigo 7900, our Indigo 12000. So we're so pleased to introduce the newest member of our Indigo family, the Indigo 100K. We started installation 2 weeks ago, began running live work this week, and are so excited for what it's going to do for us and our clients. We're seeing the amazing Indigo quality that we're all used to, but the workflow and speed enhancements on this new press are just incredible. We're so excited to see what we can do, and if it's going to increase our capacity, increase our ability to serve our clients well. We're so excited about the future. Thanks for joining us this morning and letting us show off our proud new addition. We wish you all great health through this time of crisis. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, David. It's really, really great to see it running in your site and actually really installed.
Just last 2 weeks ago.
So it's part of the while we're here in this deep crisis. So very exciting to see it running. That really sums up our deep dive on the HP Indigo 100K. And of course, you're all invited to ask more questions on our live chat. And with that, I'd like to move on to our next topic. So I'd like to talk now about some of the smart productivity tools that we're releasing as part of our new portfolio. Gershon, maybe you can comment here.
Sure, yeah. So this is an area where we've invested a lot in both the press itself and the broader context of the workflow. The enhancements we've made span our entire portfolio, including the new Series 5, but also the 100K, but also Series 4, the 15K, and also the 7K.
So I want to dive into a few of them. And Arnon, the first one I'd like to ask about is our new automatic alert agent. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that one.
Sure. So the automatic alert agent is actually close to my heart. I was the product manager of the Indigo 7000 back in 2008 when we first released the alert agent. Many customers adopted this solution since then, but the solution is not perfect because it works
Maybe
in
you
an
could just
open...
explain for a second what it does for those who are not familiar.
Sure. So the automatic alert agent using a duplex scanner to scan each and every sheet on both sides. I compare the image to our electronic image on the writing head and identify differences. And if there is a problem, it will alert the operator or stop the press. The problem, as I started to say, is that this workflow is not in closed loop. So once we identify the problem, the operator needs to take an action. And now, these days, we are announcing the next version of the alert agent with a closed loop workflow that will allow you to get a perfect stack without any operator intervention.
So basically, it will automatically detect and discard that defective
and continue to print. Go back to print from the right. That's the big thing.
Great. So maybe let us hear a little bit about it from Avi, who is basically leading the solution on our R&D team. So let's hear a little bit from Avi all about it.
Hi everyone, my name is Avi Malki. I'm from the R&D, leading the vision system, the automatic alert agent. And today I'm going to talk about the new automatic alert agent system, which is stand on two main pillars. The first one is the new scan bar. The new scan bar is faster than the old one. And the second pillar is the new algorithm based on deep learning. So we teach the deep learning with various PQ defects and not only classify the network, we also have a very, very fast algorithm that for the first time allow us to automatically eject the defective sheet, recover, and continue printing from that point. All that without any operator intervention. In the next few seconds, you will see the movie from our lab that show you this capability, although this is still under development.
I was super excited to see this.
Yes, this is brand new directly from the lab. I just want to mention that this is not released yet. It's planned to be released next year. But you already see this is actually the first time it was working. I was there to take the video with my phone.
Excellent. Great. So, Gershon, maybe you can talk a little bit more about other productivity tools.
Yeah, so we have the Indigo Optimizer, which is an on-press productivity tool. It's based on AI, on artificial intelligence, and it recommends the optimal job print order, the media loading, when exactly to load the media and where, and also the proofing sequence. So this tool is ideal for shops with high job count, who run many proofs. And with that optimizer, the press operator need to change their habits, which sometimes it is challenging, but the result is a press utilization that is up to 50%. So it's worthwhile to change those habits. And it's important to know that Optimizer is now enabled by default on all the new sheet-fed presses.
Excellent. That's great news. I think it really does bring a lot of automatic enhancements to...
That can be a real overnight revolution to the ones who actually adopt it.
Excellent. Good. So, Gershon, I know that we're also using AI-based tools for service and for remote support. Maybe you can tell us about those. Absolutely.
So we call it predictive press care, and for short, PPC.
We love the acronyms.
Yes. So PPC is using, again, artificial intelligence, also big data analysis, in order to analyze terabytes and terabytes of data that the press collects and sends to the cloud. The PPC algorithm searches for insights and for some data anomalies in order to detect potential issues that still we don't experience, but we will very soon.
We haven't experienced it yet, but we may.
If we don't do anything,
Great, so I think we'd like to hear a little bit more about it and see how it works. A little bit from Daisy, our print care product manager. So let's hear from Daisy.
Hello there. We are here in the Indigo 100K lab. My name is Daisy Capone and I am WWTS Sprint Care Team Leader. Today I would like to talk with you about your productivity. We in Indigo thought about 2 ways to ensure you stay productive. The first, predictive press care, or as we call it, PPC, is an artificial intelligence system that collects the press data, analyzes it, and sends insights to the press, informing the operator that something is about to happen. Here, for example, we sent an alert to the press, and once the operator accesses it, we provide him an incentive, why we recommend him to perform those actions, and how it should be done. Now, we provide him also step-by-step corrective actions, and he can return to production once all are done from the point he stopped. The bottom line is that we collect the press data, analyze it, and we'll let you know before it becomes a real issue.
Thanks, Daisy. So Arnon, what exactly are we monitoring with this tool? What are we
So
seeing here?
we are monitoring dozens of items on the press, just like Gershon mentioned. But I'll just give 2 examples. One example is an ink pump current that is getting high. The remote support will automatically get an alert and will call the operator. In this case, a simple troubleshooting can probably repair that problem without getting a press down situation. Another example is a specific paper that causes jams. Now, the operator doesn't even know that there is a specific problem with this specific paper, but the big data analysis will identify the problem and will let the remote support team know that. They will call the operator and say, okay, let's check it out.
But by the way, those insights are not only from that specific press. We are learning from other presses and applying it to specific presses.
Yeah, so we're learning from the big data here.
These might sound anecdotal to you, but our data shows that 90% of the calls that were initiated by the predictive press care are closed remotely, in contrast to 70% of regular presses. It takes 20 minutes to solve them versus an average of 2 hours of a regular problem. And the presses that are connected and that are using predictive press care saves 4 hours a month. And that's a lot. And we plan to even increase that because we will monitor more things and we'll take more actions based on that.
I think it's becoming more and more relevant these days, especially when you want to have more independence, more remote support, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all really great. So Arnon, we talked about all these great capabilities, the predictive press care, and we talked about quite a few of them. Which presses will they be available for? The automatic alert agent, everything we talked about.
So Optimizer and predictive press care goes to all presses, Series 5, Series 4, and Series 3. As for alert agent, the Series 3 presses are equipped with AAA, just like I said, since 2008, but the new version is not yet implemented on this series.
Okay, great. But overall,
overall,
our portfolio enjoys a broad range. Okay, I think it's also worth mentioning, apropos that, is that all of these capabilities that we talked about, again, the automatic alert agent, the optimizer, the predictive press care, they're all backward compatible. They will be available to our current install base through a value pack. So I think that's important to mention as well. So Gershon, I want to go back to the 100K for a minute, and I know that Arnon mentioned that we believe this press is really a great fit for offset players, and so I want to talk a little about the workflow. What have we done from a workflow perspective to ensure that fit into the offset environment?
Right, yeah, so I talked before about the integrations, right, and we do have existing integrations with the leading offset pre-press systems like Kodak Pre-Energy or Heidelberg Pre-Nect. So customers can submit jobs directly to the presses from those systems and get status back. And this means that they can fully leverage their existing offset pre-press systems also for printing on Indigo. By the way, this is the case not only for the Indigo 100K, but for all our install base.
Excellent. And Gershon, one more workflow questions from my side. When we're talking about volume-based production, which is basically what we're talking about throughout the session today, we're actually talking about running hundreds and maybe even thousands of jobs every day. what tools are we offering our customers to manage this high volume of jobs? What do we do there?
By the way, it's not only the volume. It's the volume, but also it's the number of jobs. If you have very few jobs building that volume, it's
of course, it's easier to manage.
It's easier,
them.
but our vision is that customers will have thousands of different orders per day, and for that we have SiteFlow. SiteFlow is an end-to-end production management system that enables customers to produce thousands of jobs per day. It accepts the jobs automatically from the web, again through API, automatically prepare and batch them, and submit them to the press. So once the job is printed, the batch is printed, SiteFlow will direct the job through the finishing, the shipping, finishing, the packing, and in addition, SiteFlow is integrated with over 150 shippers, like UPS or FedEx, many local shippers as well. So once the job is ready, SiteFlow will automatically order the shipping, will print the label, everything is done. So for customers that have SiteFlow, it's a real enabler for growth. Without it, they cannot grow, they cannot go above a certain number of jobs per day.
And again, if people want to try it out, actually right now is a great time to take a look at this and see it's available on the PrintOS marketplace, as are, by the way, some of the other tools that we mentioned today, like OEE. So we really encourage you to go there. Right now, many of the marketplace applications are free of charge.
Correct. Yeah.
Great. So with that, Gilshon, I want to thank you for being with us today. And I'd like to move on to our next topic. So thanks, Gilshon.
Sure.
So we spoke about the HP Indigo 100K, and we spoke about a variety of tools that help enhance productivity, but actually productivity, efficiency is actually considered best on the web-fed presses, right? What's new in terms of our web-fed offering, Arnaud?
So what's new is the Indigo 90K. This is a new simplex web solution with frame size of an oversized B1. This press is targeted to packaging as well as commercial applications on which we talk right now. That's because of the substrate range of 40 microns and up to 500 microns. Think about this huge variety. It is also equipped with an HD writing head that provides top quality. And we see this press serving various applications like publishing, like wallpaper, photo applications, etc.
Photo, yeah. So maybe we can see the press running with a demonstration from our product manager in the lab, David. So let's hear from David.
Hi, my name is David. I'm proud to introduce to you this Indigo 90K digital press. This press delivers the Indigo quality and efficiency on a roll-fed machine with a B1, oversized actually, B1 sheet fed. This is an unwinder, 30-inch wide web, 762 millimeter wide, a heavy-duty and robust design, 1.4 meter diameter, 1.3 ton. This is the priming unit. It's a treasure closed chamber flexo coating, which gives us the flexibility to run almost any substrate we like. With this station, we see our partner, Prati, an Italian company that delivers our converted solution for this line. We can see the configuration of inline with a buffer and an offline with an unwinder. With this station, we see the coater, which is a UV and water-based selective semi-rotary. In this station, we can see a highly accurate sheeter with a 150 micron accuracy. On the right side, a high-pie stacker. And in general, Prati is a very modular solution that can deliver different type of units.
So important to mention that's actually the roll-to-sheet configuration of that press. We also have a roll-to-roll configuration of that press, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But maybe we can talk about some of the applications that can be done in some of the samples, right? So we talked about photo, we talked about cut sheet posters. So this is a good example of a photo poster.
Take a look here. So this is an oversized. This is a B1 poster, and using HD. So if Benny can give us a close-up, you'll be able to see the very high quality produced by HD on this huge posters. So posters are one of the first applications. This
Absolutely. Very
so
high
posters
quality.
and,
Posters, photo, et cetera. Yes.
Think about posters. Usually we use them a wide format inkjet presses, which gives very high quality, but actually the productivity here is much higher.
Yeah, of course, and you can also go then with finishing to create a cut sheet photo and others. You can also do point of sale. You can also, I think this is the roll-to-roll configuration that we were talking about.
So over here we see a sample that we printed for a wallpaper. One of our wallpaper customers in Germany was actually printing wallpapers, very high quality wallpaper that requires also the HD, special substrates, and a special application. So you can see the length here. Okay.
And of course, the stitching technology that allows us to. Okay. And I think, by the way, other applications can be done with this as well. Point of sale kind of roll-ups. Hold on. Yeah.
So you can see the length here, and you know we're printing in frames, so like these oversized A1 frames, but in this case we're using the frameless printing, which is a special technology that we developed, and with that we are cutting. We're using very sophisticated algorithm in order to cut the edges of the image and restitch it in a continuous form. That is especially useful for these type of wallpaper applications, but also for long banners, for point of sales and point of purchase and things like that.
Excellent. Arnon, I understand this press is actually based on the engine of the Indigo 50,000. Maybe you can share a little bit about that press?
Correct. So that engine is using the unwinder and the engine of the 50,000. By the way, that's what enables the HD and the HD and the heavy thick substrate. The 50,000 itself is an A1 duplex solution, again with a roll-to-roll or roll-to-sheet or roll-to-inline finishing solution. We see it as a perfect solution for specific applications like publishing, like direct mail, and even for GCP, because you can imagine,
photo, of course, yeah.
You put a sheeter at the end and you get ready to finish a duplex B1 sheets. And that's a great solution for short runs and for high productivity.
Very, very high volume kinds of niche applications, absolutely. And actually, speaking of web presses, HP is also the worldwide leader in inkjet web presses. Our portfolio includes the T200, the T300, the T400 series, and actually we recently introduced the HP page-wide web press T250 HD with the HP Brilliant ink. Let's take a sneak peek and see what that's all about. Wow. So the press is actually built upon the same proven industrial platform as the T240 HD, but the new HP Brilliant ink is really a game changer. This ink is the standard for high volume production inkjet web presses. Not only does it deliver more vivid color gamut, but most importantly, it really allows customers to print on a broad range of media, including offset, coated and uncoated, including inkjet treated papers, and even more without the need for priming. It's an all-in-one digital solution. And Arnon, maybe you can talk a little bit about the applications that page-wide customers print?
Sure. Well, page-wide presses are known for their outstanding quality in publishing. But now, with Brilliant inks, customers can enjoy the benefit of having one press that can enable all applications, publishing transactional, commercial, and direct mail.
Of course. Let's take a look at some of the samples, why don't we? Okay, maybe we can start with this travel brochure. I can show it, yeah?
This sample is a magazine piece that showcases the rich color and the deep blacks printed directly on offset media. It's very light offset media, you can feel it.
Absolutely, and it looked great. And here are some Realtor postcards. Yeah, I'll show them and maybe you can talk through them.
So the postcards were printed using the HP Brilliant inks in quality mode. That's 200 to 250 feet per minute on offset coated media.
Excellent. And we have here also some various images here that you can see with different substrates and different post-coating options. You can see some more here. And I like here how you can really easily see the gloss levels, even on the prints without the post-print coating, because they really, they're really popping with color, really brilliant color across a very, very broad range of substrates you can see here, offset coated and color pro media. And the ink that we see here really matches the gloss level of the sheet that it's printed on. So it's gonna look smooth without any harsh transitions between the gloss, the sheet gloss and the ink gloss. And I think that's really great.
Yeah.
And I think important to note that it's all upgradable. So if a customer has a T200 today, they can upgrade to the T250 HD and protect their investment for many, many years to come. That actually, Arnon, brings our show to a close today. So, we talked about site level as well as press productivity. We had a deep dive about the Indigo 100K and many, many productivity and utilization enhancing tool. We also took a look at our WebFed portfolio. I want to remind you, everyone at home, that if you have any more questions or comments, you can feel free to email us at hpindigolive@hp.com or obviously reach out to your HP representative. With that, I want to thank you, Arnon, for being with us today, and thank you at home for taking the time to watch us. Please stay safe and healthy, and we do hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.